This is the first segment of END. E.N.D. Everybody needs direction. Basically, this is a company that I'm starting to deal with mental health, recidivism, and drug addiction. In this first segment, I just want to take you through a journey of my life and where I've come from and how I got to this point. So, in the beginning, I started off in North Philadelphia on Darien Street. I was 19 years old. I hadn't yet began to mess around with drugs yet. I mean, I smoked a little weed, drank a few beers, but I had never really gotten into the hard stuff. Um, Crack epidemic had already exploded, and it was in full fledged when I first started hustling on Darien Street. So I was very enticed with the atmosphere of fast money, fast women, fast cars, and at first it started off with just getting the money, just like everybody else. And it wasn't until I started hustling in Wilmington, Delaware, on Fifth and Madison, and I met a young lady there. Young lady's name I will not, a young lady's name that I will not put out. You know, I want to protect all innocent. Any of the parties that have everything to do with this. I can't say any names. Um, but she lived on Fifth and Madison. She was a little older than I was, brown skin, big behind, and she knew all the smokers. She knew everybody out there, all the smokers. And every night I would go sit on her steps, and she would sit on her mom's steps, and I would sit between her legs, and she would sell every last one of my caps. All my drugs went, every last dime. And this went on night after night. I would go re up, come back, sit between her legs. She'd part my hair, braid my hair, and just sell. Everybody, Andre, you know, she would just always just, she sold everything for me. So one night I was in her home, and she was saying that she didn't feel too well. She said, Malik, you know, I don't feel good. So I was like, well, what's going on? You know, anything you need me to do? So they had sold dope down at the park, and she kept saying, she's like, can you just give me $20 so I can get me something from the park? So at the time, I didn't know anything about that. All I knew about was selling it. So I gave her the $20. She went down there, she got it, and for lack of a better word, I could say that she introduced me to dope. And in the beginning, uh, this it was a feeling that I couldn't really describe. The rush, the tingling, the intense sex. It was like unbelievable. And like a research lab rat, I was hooked. I was 20 at the time, maybe 20, yeah, 20, 21 at the time. This had to be about 90, 91. And so now I was balancing, hustling, dealing with my woman, and sniffing dope. And it went on for about, I'm going to say maybe 6 to 8 months down Delaware before things went awry down there, and I had to move to another location. And I moved over to Riverside Projects. and I was in the projects hustling there, doing my thing. Me and another brother I had brought down there with me, and it was just getting money, getting high, fucking with women, the regular of what I called regular. This is the insanity of the life that I was leading. I was calling it regular, which is nothing regular about this life. This is just the insanity that I was caught up in. And this was before I started going to jail and you know experiencing the downside of the flip coin. So I had a nice little run in Riverside Projects. Um, I had gotten to a situation over there in the projects, and I had got jumped out there. I had got jumped, and they would say, "Oh, you're not from Delaware anyway," blah blah blah. And the situation in Delaware kind of like ended with a violent situation, and I ended up going back to North Philadelphia. So now I'm back in North Philly. I'm on Darien Street. I'm hustling. Uh, I brought along the baggage that I brought with me, and I might have been in North Philly maybe about, I'm gonna say 7 months, and I caught my first case. And back in 91, 92, I caught my first case. And back then, they was giving out SOB. SOB is sign your own bail. And I went in, I went down to the roundhouse, and oh my God, I started going through the withdrawal effects of not being able to get to the dope. And I wouldn't see the judge. Back then, you used to go see the judge. It was a live judge. There was nothing over the computer, was nothing over the screen. Everything was live. And I went seeing the judge, and I was like, "Oh my God, what am I going to do? I got to go to the jail." So I went seeing the judge. I must have been down there for about maybe a day, and I heard the judge say, "Malik Lewis." I went up, yeah, all right, read my charges, and next thing I know, he said, "Okay, I'm gonna hold you on $40,000 bail, SOB. Stand to the right, you'll be released." I'm like, what? What? Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm literally I'm shocked. I'm like, be released. And see, the guard told me, "Come on, step over to the side." I had a yellow armband on. I'll never forget this. He cut the armband off. One took me up to the door, pushed the doors open, handed my paperwork, and said, "All right." Boom, pushed me right out the door. Oh my God. I was to say that I was just elated. Ran out, jumped out, didn't have any money. I jumped in the cab, went down North Philly, got out the cab, got on the block. Yo, I need somebody to pay for the cab. And what happened? Oh yeah, how much is the cab? Young boy, my man, them came up, paid for the cab, and that was my first experience with being locked up down the roundhouse. So I went about my daily routines. I had a shift on Darien Street. I worked from back then. You were only allowed to work 4 hours. So I worked on Darien Street. I had the morning shift. So I worked from 7 to about 11, 11:30. But then sometimes I would always let my man and them catch an hour, the last hour of my shift. So one thing led to another, and I ended up going around the corner to Seltzer Street. I got tight with this old head around there, and he invited me. He kept saying, "Leak, come around there with me, man." And I ended up taking my hustling skills over to Seltzer Street. I ended up hooking up with a couple dudes around there. His young boys, they were some alright dudes. I ended up case working and running that block for him. You know what I mean? This was like the first opportunity I had as a young boy to run the block. So I wasn't working for nobody. Indirectly, I wasn't working for nobody. I had somebody over me, but I was the HNIC on the block at the time. I called the shots, I picked the workers, and I handed out all the material. And that went on for about, let's say, a good 2 years. Yeah, I stayed on South Street for about 2 years. Yeah, and getting money. I got a little crib. I started messing with this chick down South Philly, going back and forth. And, everything was I guess what you could say was normal in my life. I'm pretty content with what I'm doing at the time. And once again, I tell you, that's the insanity of the disease that I had called addiction. That I was thinking that it was normal. So I was living down, in North Philly doing my thing. Boom, I catch another case. One day I came out, I didn't have nobody to work. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning. So wasn't nobody out yet. I was there. I said, I'm looking for somebody to work. I couldn't find nobody. And the money was coming. People was coming out, oh, yo, such and such out, yeah. So the name of the dope I had at the time was Bad Boy. So everybody kept calling, yo, who got the bad boy? Who got the bad boy? So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm crack. So I cracked, took 10 pack, cracked it open. There you go, bad boy. I'm out there. I'm out there now. I'm out there. So I'm in the middle of my thing. I'm getting everything off. People coming out. You got bad boy. You got bad boy. On about 7:30. Between 7:30 and 8. The task force ran through, jumped out and grabbed me. I had served two undercovers and was in the middle of a sting and didn't even know. Oh, so now I got the case that I caught on Darien Street. I got this case right here. They take me down. They lock me up. I'm down A from race. Once again, I'm going through the withdrawal symptoms because I've been locked up. I didn't really get that much in me at the time because I got locked up so early. So I'm down there for the remainder of the day, going into tomorrow. I go in front of the judge. Go in front of the judge, and I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, I'm done this time. This is my second joint. I know I'm going. So they call me out. Listen up for court. So I'm in the blocks. I'm in the tank. I'm listening up for court. I come out. I go in front of the judge. They read the charges: possession with intent to distribute. Da da da. And the DA says he has an open case, Your Honor. This is his second case. He says, all right. He said, okay, I'm going to hold him on $50,000 bail, SOB. Now, previously, for the first time I heard SOB, I knew when I heard SOB again, I knew I was like, shit, I'm going out the door. So I'm like, okay, here we go. So the cop says, all right, hold your wrist up, man. Let me cut your band off. Stand over there. I go over there by the door, getting my paperwork, and I'm out the door again. Boom. Jump in the cab, take me up South Street, up North Philly. I jump out because my man lived on the side block, and I came up Hutchinson. I got out. I needed somebody to pay for the cab. My man came out. How much is the cab? I think it was $20, whatever it was. I gave him the money, and now I got two open cases, and I'm right back at it. I'm right back at it. First thing I want to do, I want to get off. Hey, yo, yo, what? I go grab some work. I get off. I'm putting that poison into my body. Poison, as you see, I said poison. I'm putting that into my body, and I'm right back in the mix. So I'm gonna take the opportunity now to say that anything that I'm saying in these segments that I post from here on out, they are not to glorify anything that I've been through. The addiction, the drugs, the violence, the craziness. This is solely for education, for people to learn from my mistakes and to try to make better decisions in their lives. with that being said, I'll see you on the next segment, and we'll pick up from Seltzer Street. Thank you.